Welcome back, everyone, to Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Yoseline. Thank you for joining us. Once again, we are wrapping up the year with this episode, and we're excited.
This is our last episode of the year, so thank you all so much for sticking with us through the ups and downs, the lefts and the rights.
The figuring it out, but we got through it. As you said, it is the last episode of the year, which I was a little worried that it was going to be a slow wrap, but people came through for us.
A lot of things happened today, literally today. There was so many headlines that came out because when I started yesterday collecting information, half of the page was full. Now it's like I need 2 pages because so many things happen.
Yeah, but we have a big. We don't know if it's a birthday party or you finished your big tour.
It was a surprise. We'll get into Taylor Swift's party that we're slowly starting to learn more about every single day, and also some big drama in the podcast world. We've spoken about, Brianna Chickenfry and Grace O'Malley. Well, there's some new developments in the drama when it comes to that, and it's been all over social media, so you all have probably seen some clips, but we're going to break that all down for you guys.
Absolutely, and we're going to wrap up our year with a quick top 5 stories that stood out to us for the year. So we have a lot to go over. But before we start that, let's dive in. What did you do this weekend? How has your work week been?
I was like, what did I do this weekend? But yes, I had a little get-together, a soiree, as my friend called it. I had a soiree at my home this weekend. It was a little Christmas party. I had some of my closest friends, some people coming from out of town. We just did little holiday activities. We decorated chocolate and watched movies and played games. So yeah, it was a fun time. What else did I do? I was hosting my friends. They stayed with me this weekend. And this week, it's just been, just getting ready for the holidays. I still have just last minute things to buy, things that you can just get at Target. I have all the big items I needed to ship in already, but I realized I need to start wrapping presents soon, which I cannot stand to do.
You're not a wrapper? Are you a gift bag?
I'm really good at wrapping presents. Some presents I've wrapped belong in a museum, but I just Christmas is just so draining. I'm just so ready for it to be over, honestly. I'm tired of this year.
It's draining my wallet.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just ready for 2025. Let's start this new year.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new year. I think I've had a decent year, but I think I'm very excited for the new year.
What about you?
Just zero in. This weekend, I went to San Antonio. I was able to see the Nutcracker there and visit some cool places to eat, an oyster bar, and
of course
Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. So I was away for the weekend, so that was always a fun little thing. And then work has just been, it's weird. It's that no one wants to work, but there's kind of still work done. But hey, if someone emails you, they probably aren't at work because anything administrative is kind of shutting down. But I can only imagine next week it's probably going to be the same because a lot of people like to take the week off. And you guys know, we work in the news industry and we still work, which I guess it's fun for me in a way where it's okay, well, next week, administrative people don't really work. So I get to actually do more news stuff. I could actually help or something, but it's fun.
It's nice when it's kind of like a ghost town in the newsroom, because I feel like it's just I don't know, it's like little kids in a big office, and you just kind of get to do whatever you want.
And the other half of the building's gone, so it's just whatever. But we do have our holiday company Christmas party this weekend coming up, and should be fun.
But we can't tell you guys about that because we're not going to see you till next year.
No, but we need to make a point to take a picture or something by the tree.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we're getting close to that Christmas time. I'm ready for it to happen. I just feel like my mind has just been just so I don't know. I'm tired. I literally am so tired. I took a nap yesterday, which never happens. I don't take naps.
Wait, when?
During my break. I took a 20-minute nap after I ate food, and I was like, I really need this right now. I'm tired, which I never take naps. I never take naps, and I'm actually in need of a nap right now. But I'm sure pop culture will fuel my blood.
And, you know, some of
again.
these stories are going to bring you back to life.
Yes, they will.
We're going to just get started with, like, just stories that have been popping up during the week. We start off with White Lotus. It is back. And so it's Natasha Rothwell as Mike White's ensemble vacation heads to Thailand. In the trailer for season 3, we meet a whole new group of vacationers taking the local Thailand culture. Season 3 premiere of White Lotus is set for February 16th. So write that down. I think it's been over a year that we have been waiting for
Well, we did talk about in the podcast and towards the beginning. We were recapping season 2, so it's definitely been within the year range.
Yeah.
So that's good. I love White Lotus. I always love to see what they do.
The intro music is just so catchy.
Yeah, and I'm such a fan of them constantly switching up the actors. I mean, they do have that consistent actress who came out in part 1. I don't know if she came out in 2.
So they always have something that comes in. So we had Jennifer Coolidge's character went from season 1 to season 2, and then this one has a character that we met in season 1, but we did not see in season 2.
She was the masseuse.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I like the connection of, like, the White Lotus hotel chain.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan, keep that in mind. Mark your calendars. February.
We'll likely recap that
16th.
for you guys.
And then some news out of movie makers. Barbie 2 is said to be in early stages of development, but the studio is denying it. So insiders are saying, like, no, there is talks. Well, the studio hasn't really said anything about.
I don't see a point for part 2.
I don't. I think you just leave it
like
as
we
is.
don't need to see all of the spectacle all over again. I was fine with keeping that in 2023.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
One of the big headlines this week, we have Lily J. If her name does not sound familiar, it's because she's not famous. She's actually she's a psychologist who was married to Ethan Slater. Now, does that name ring a bell? Bach.
It does.
Bach.
It does. SpongeBob?
Lily J is reflecting on the fallout after her marriage with Ethan Slater ended. An essay for The Cut published this week. Jay, a clinical psychologist specializing in prenatal health care and child development, wrote about Slater's relationship with his Wicked co-star Ariana Grande, even though she does not mention the pop star by name after their split, and the difficulties she has faced as a result of that public chaos. I did not read the article. I did read the People's recap of it.
Did you find the direct quote?
Yeah,
From Lily James, or from Lily,
Lily J.
Lily J.
Which quote about her? I did not think I was gonna get divorced. That one?
No, look. Let me read it out for you.
Oh, the one that you sent on Instagram.
Yeah. So she said, this is a quote pulled from, I guess, the article.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, days with my son are sunny. Days when I can't escape the promotion of a movie associated with the saddest day of my life are darker. So,
AKA Wicked.
Yeah, and Wicked is everywhere, guys.
So you know what? Kudos to her for coming out with this and not in the middle of the promotion when they were doing the red carpet.
But also The Cut, y'all are such instigators. Like,
yeah.
Let's ask Lily J again how she feels about the whole thing.
It was kind of like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to come out with this article, why not come out within the middle of Wicked? That's crazy.
I think they were also, I don't know if like it was just like a judgment call, like, no, guys, let's just kind of like wait. Or if maybe it was a her thing, like, I'd rather wait.
Because she does say, I did read in the article that her and him like are great co-parenters. Or like,
that's good.
That they're not maybe great between them, but that they're good parents. And she does refer to him as like, we are here for our son. Like, that has not changed.
Yeah, maybe it was her choice to wait for the post promotion.
So if you want to, I suggest just reading the recap that People published.
Yeah.
This is a story we have been following since last week, I believe. So James Kennedy was spotted helping his longtime girlfriend, Allie Luber, load her personal items into her car just days after his arrest on a misdemeanor domestic violence. Now TMZ has learned the couple is currently spending time apart. Well, new details of that incident have come to light. According to police reports, a woman told officers that her boyfriend lifted and threw her to the ground. Also coming to light is that Bravo followed up on claims that James Kennedy was violent with women 1 year before this arrest. So that they looked into his allegations against him in an internal investigation about a year ago. Us Weekly is confirming that, quote, there was an investigation, but they found nothing, a source is telling the magazine. It was inconclusive, so nothing happened.
I feel like, you know, if we're going to treat Tom Sandoval like a monster, let's treat somebody who literally physically hurts women as a monster as well. I know that immediately after, I don't know if this was a direct quote, but it was like said that Allie was going to be sticking by him. And then in the days after, then you start seeing the photos of her moving out. So
but it just has her,
kind of like,
but he's still there. So there's nothing like, it's not like she's like, don't ever talk to me. They're still there and taking time apart. I even
read a quick headline that Nick Viall, like, I assume in his podcast talking about it, called out like Lisa for not really talking about this whole incident either, because Lisa's always been kind of looking out for James.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole series, but that's the latest on that.
And just a quick snippet out of New York City, we have Kim Kardashian did not let her broken foot stop her from celebrating the opening of her Skims flagship store in the big city. The Kardashian star arrived at the event with a scooter, but refused to ditch her high heels despite her injury.
Girl can rock a scooter and still look amazing.
Say, it is, you know, I guess I'll say it like now. One of my top stories for the year was going to be the lack of Kardashian like importance of the year.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I'm just like, am I being too like weird about that? But I don't know. This is a girl that I would watch like Kardashians like every week. Never finish.
I really don't care much. I feel like it's just like everyone collectively is just kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
You all kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
All the time.
I don't know
like
what
their
it
show.
is.
There's really nothing like, nothing stands out. Like I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch this drama unfold. It's like I genuinely just like, I like to see how they live their life. I'd like to see the inside of
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, but I think even though I obviously knew that they have control about editing and you know, what the message is out there, I think there was some kind of like, I guess I just assumed like, oh, this is what's happening in their life. Obviously, I knew there was editing, but really when like Kendall and like Kylie really putting that wall up where we never heard about Bad Bunny, we never heard about Travis Scott, it was just like, this definitely isn't real. If you're not even showing the biggest part of your life, which is the partner.
The only person that shows anything is Chloe.
Like,
that's why I love Chloe.
So I was just very like turned off by that. Like, hey, if you're not gonna show me the biggest part, you're definitely never gonna show me like the most intimate.
Somebody pointed this out on TikTok that Pete and Kim were still together in January. Isn't that crazy?
This January?
Yeah.
No.
I think so.
No.
Somebody was like, isn't this year crazy, like how much has happened?
Was it?
I don't know. Let's fact check that.
They were together for the Met Gala with her and Marilyn Monroe, or no?
Yeah, but that was
last year, so maybe.
And Kim breakup. Let me see the time. Wait. Oh, never mind.
Okay, I was just like...
August 2022. Yeah, that was... Okay. No, that doesn't make any sense. No. Oh, wow, that was 2 years ago? I don't know what this person was on TikTok then.
Okay.
Sorry. Maybe that was from 2 years ago, honestly.
Oh, maybe.
Things end up on your For You page.
Other movie news, I should put this up with the Barbie one. So Jim Carrey is open to a Grinch sequel if motion capture replaces traditional makeup. Fans continue to push for a sequel of the beloved 2000 holiday classic. Carrey's interest reignites speculations of a potential new Grinch adventure.
So he kind
of, well, there is a book.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like they wouldn't create it. It's like the Grinch who lost Christmas.
Yes.
But he says that it was just such a drag to put the makeup and thing that which I'm pretty sure there's the technology now where they do like Avatar, where they just like kind of like.
I know, but it pulls from like.
Yeah, and then Taylor Momsen could come back as
an adult Cindy Lou Who.
But I think people would definitely. There was also this thing where he's doing promotion for Sonic or Hedgehog or something. He's like the villain in that movie, and people were like, "Why are you doing that?" He was kind of like, "Oh, I need the money."
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Aw, Jim.
But I just think maybe he's just an expensive fella.
Maybe. But also in movie news, the Superman trailer just came
Oh, yeah, I
out.
forgot about that.
Came out this Thursday today, and so we're seeing this new version of Superman.
Yeah, we have
out
Rachel
there.
Brosnan coming out as Lois Lane.
I forgot the guy's name, but it's a James Gunn movie.
Yes, who gave us Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
So we have high hopes.
Did you see it?
The
trailer?
trailer? Yeah, half of it.
What do you think?
I will not comment until I watch the movie because Superman, DC has led me astray. You know, like,
I'm not a fan of Superman.
oh, I like Superman and I loved Henry Cavill, but I just think that the DC universe has just let me down. Even the other day, I was rewatching Wonder Woman, the second one, and I'm like,
I don't even think I finished that movie.
I never like. I love superhero movies and I like popular like celebrities. So the fact that I've never watched Aquaman,
I've never seen Aquaman.
There's two, by the way. I've never seen any of them.
I wasn't interested when it was coming out.
And I like Jason Momoa. So the fact that I didn't go out of my way to like watch him in a big screen.
It's just DC's kind of boring. Like the only movies that are good are the Batman ones, and that's because Batman's the best.
Batman's the best.
Let's be honest.
I apologize for my stacking here because it's completely all over the place. Because let's go back to Vanderpump.
Yes.
Tom Sandoval's girlfriend Victoria. Oh, did you hear about the new thing?
No.
So she came out. Victoria Lee Robinson is the girl that Tom Sandoval is dating. She came out earlier in the week saying that, basically insinuating that he cheated on her with her best friend, saying like a tiger never loses or changes its stripes. Yada yada. Well, guess what? Victoria Lee Robinson is walking back her claims that he cheated with her best friend. Quote, I would like to sincerely apologize for my previous post. I had a true misjudgment in a situation. Tom did not do anything.
Oh my
Robinson wrote via her Instagram story. From my personal trauma and experiences, hearing false accusations about him all the time clouded my judgment and got the best of me.
Next. Who cares, girl? You just wanted the attention.
I don't know. That's just like, it's whatever. But I'm just. It's so embarrassing.
That's so ridiculous. Why would you even say that?
Yeah.
I would have just kept it going.
I'm like, yeah, he did. Ariana Grande is explaining her decision not to tour after Republic Records did confirm earlier this week that she had no shows planned for 2025. In her Variety interview, she said, quote, I don't see it coming anytime soon. I think the next few years, hopefully, we'll be exploring different forms of art. I think acting is feeling like home right now.
When it said she's not touring, I'm like, I never expected her to tour.
I don't
like next year, they're going to be working on part 2 promo. Like, when would she have the time? And I feel like she just released Eternal Sunshine because she was like, this is what's weighing me down, and I just wanted to release music that was of my moment, and I don't really like want anything
I think she knew she was entering her like this
her
Wicked
era.
thing, and she just wanted to say her side of her story with the which happens with musicians. You share a lot of your side of the story and what you're going through musically.
Yeah.
So I think that she wanted to explain her side with the whole Ethan thing, leave it out there, and move with the Wicked, and possibly just become like very private. Because I feel like actors, you immerse yourself in other characters. Where musicians, you write what you're going through.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And she started in musical theater, so it's not like, oh, now that she's always been an actress. Like, she really has.
I honestly think she might do like a musical.
I could see her doing Broadway. I could see her going towards like an EGOT kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's do Tony next.
Like I think she'll continue to make music, but I think like you said, mentioned, she's more focused on acting. Her and Selena Gomez are both on like their acting train right now.
You know, just a side thing about Selena Gomez, because we like kind of like went in on her last week.
Did we?
Or was it 2 weeks? Yeah, I think so. Not to like discredit her even more, but someone said that, do you know who Sophia Carson is?
Yes.
That she should have played Amelia Perez.
Oh,
Wouldn't she
probably.
have been good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can act and sing.
And she knows Spanish. Yeah. To the point where it's like her life of being like I don't know. I just kept hearing more about the storyline, and people were like, oh, the main character, the main actress, was defending Selena, saying that like she created her own character, like, which is even worse. It was about an American who lived in a border city of border town, And so, of course, she's not going to know perfect Spanish. But I was just like, but she wouldn't be speaking those words.
Have they ever been to a border town? I'm
know.
curious. You can just come to Laredo and I'm like, you can hear what like somebody who doesn't know Spanish sounds like.
And then they don't know Spanish, but the words they do, they say it perfectly because they grew up with it.
But like some of the things she was saying, I'm like, what? Like I'm not the best at Spanish, but I would have said it way better. They should have cast me, guys, if you want true authenticity.
Okay, let me get off my soapbox. And I still love Selena Gomez, but still.
But speaking of Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco.
Oh yes, that it was come to light that they actually
had been engaged.
Yeah, they might have been engaged since August, which explains a lot of pictures she had been posting. Yes. There was that picture she posted of a selfie, and she put hearts on the ring, and then people saw her out in what she wasn't wearing a ring, so they're like, whatever. She actually was seen out post announcement, and she wasn't wearing it. So that's.
But it's I don't know where it came from, but it was mentioned, speculated. I don't know if he did an interview, Benny Blanco mentioned it or something, but that the reason that they didn't want to announce it was because Haley and Justin had just had their baby, and I guess they didn't want to be associated, engagement, like the whole association.
On the same time thing.
I think that's alleged right now.
Yeah, that's like a source told the magazine that they just didn't want to like be in the same, I guess, news cycle.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to say it.
Allegedly.
Well, Mariah Carey is always working, but this time the singer had a special guest. Rihanna made an appearance during the final stop of Carey's Christmas time tour at the Barclays Center in New York City. I need a Sharpie. Who has a Sharpie? Sign my TIT. I can't say it. The superstar said, you could hear her say it in a video posted on social media. Mariah Carey then proceeded to sign
her
Rihanna's
TITs.
I
love Rihanna.
I think that was she was like, it was like a mom's night out for sure.
No, I love Rihanna. I cannot wait to see what she does next. Whatever it is you want to do, Rihanna, I don't care. Just do something.
And Sydney Sweeney is speaking about some controversial, I guess, topic, right? Well, Sydney Sweeney, often celebrated figure, became a topic of conversation again earlier this week when paparazzi photos taken outside of her home in Florida hit the internet, leading to a flood of negative comments about her physique, which looked a little different after intensive training for her latest project. In a response, Sweeney shared on Instagram a video featuring these hateful words, followed by video and images of herself training proudly for her upcoming role as the boxer Christy Martin.
I just feel like this continues. Men just have the audacity.
No, serious.
Sydney Sweeney, like, look at her and look at you. Look at her and then look at you.
Look at you and then look at
I'm just like annoyed. Like, I would be so annoyed if I was her.
Yeah,
like I was just like relaxing by the pool, and now the whole world is commenting on how I look like a catfish. Like, Sydney Sweeney? What?
No.
Are you serious?
Like,
that just makes me feel bad about myself.
But it's just out of control. We talked about this last week as well. We talked about how Timothée Chalamet was at the premieres for his new upcoming movie based on Bob Dylan, and there were rumors by sources that Kylie Jenner was present, but she did not walk the red carpet. Now we have actual footage posted by TMZ. They have obtained video of their lovely outing. It is an after party for Timothy's new Bob Dylan biopic, and they just look so cute. It's giving the same energy that they had when the Golden Globes when he took her as her date. Do I think he's going to take her as her date this upcoming Golden Globe?
Why not? I mean, like, well,
he already did it.
It depends, because I feel like the last time he took her, there was that whole thing about, Selena and Taylor. And I don't know if she would want to put herself in that position again.
Was that this year?
That was, I don't know.
At the beginning of this year?
I think so.
Oh, that's a good
That was this year.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just a cute video. It's just like actual proof, and of course, Chris.
No, I mean, I honestly like Timothée Chalamet. I'm loving him. I'm loving me some Timmy right now.
I know if you
like his personality has just been off the charts lately. I never really like had a crush on Timothée Chalamet, but he's kind of like going up in the ranks.
Going up in the Brenda ranks.
Not that much, honestly.
Not that much. So we have, an interesting. It's just funny because I can't believe I'm speaking about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
So in Netflix's
Same.
Aaron Rodgers Enigma, which started streaming on December 17th, the NFL player dives into his relationship with his family. Well, in the docuseries, Aaron also opens up about his family relationship, which have had their fair share of drama. The legendary quarterback has been estranged from his parents, Ed and Darla Rodgers, and his two brothers, Luke and Jordan, for nearly a decade. The family feud first came to light when Aaron's younger brother, Jordan, appeared on JoJo Fletcher's season of The Bachelorette in 2016. There, the brother revealed that Aaron had distanced himself from the family. In the Netflix series, Aaron claimed that he was never invited to the hometown dinner featured on the show. A source told People that their feud stemmed from a lifelong sibling rivalry, which came to a head after a blow-up between the brothers caused their parents to get in the middle of it. Yeah, I don't think it's the whole the Bachelorette thing, because in the Bachelorette, the brother was that was one of his storylines, that he was estranged from his brother. So I don't think it happened during the actual season. During the season, they did a whole thing where during hometown dates, at his hometown, they left 2 empty seats for his brothers.
Did you watch it actively?
I don't know. I want to say yes and no. I think I stopped halfway.
Oh, okay.
Because I do remember watching when they first met, and then it kind of just died down because it was so obvious that she just liked him.
But they've been together ever since.
Oh yeah, they're
right?
still together.
Oh, okay.
So they actually he won. They got engaged, and then they became boyfriend and girlfriend. And she took off her engagement, and it was I don't think we should be engaged. I think we should just be boyfriend and girlfriend. They were together for years, and then he finally re-proposed. And now I don't know. Oh yeah, they were already married because Becca Tilley was a bridesmaid. They got married, and during their new engagement, they started a whole TV show. They do Home Improvements. Yeah.
I feel like I have seen something.
Yeah, so they're
related to
still
that.
together. Yeah. So I think it's one of the most successful, because I think they did the right thing where they're okay, let's be real.
Well, I mean, I think that's what a lot of them are doing now. They're just let's be engaged, but we're really just dating.
Yeah. So
Interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna watch that, so.
So if you care to know what happened with the Rodgers family, he's very hush hush. He has never commented on it. So the fact that he's just opening up about that, it's kind of documentary. Sticking with Bachelor news, see, I stacked this one, right? Golden Bachelor Gary Turner was diagnosed with cancer just weeks prior to his split from Teresa Nest. Turner told People magazine that he was diagnosed with a slow-growing bone marrow cancer. It's a really big word. I'm not going to say it, but it's basically not curable. They could treat it, but they're there's no cure for this. So, when you kind of brought it up, you brought this topic to the table, and I said, did she break up with him because he has cancer? No, he kind of alludes to the fact that he was given this diagnosis, and they're hey, there's no cure. You just kind of have to live your life and hope, you live long enough, or whatever it may be. He kind of was if I have a couple years in me, I just want to focus, I cannot waste it on making a new relationship work and invest myself. It just was not my priority. My priority is to spend my last couple of years with my daughters and my grandkids, if that's my option. So they kind of just split because they were together when he got the diagnosis. So it's not oh, we had some issues or something. She left me, I left me. It was very I can't be playing teenager in love.
Yeah, starting a relationship and all the ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's just
I
need to be happy.
It can't be my priority to make a relationship work right now.
Yeah.
And I get that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm just okay, I get that. But yeah, I know we followed his love story. The other reality, segueing to ABC reality shows, former Bachelorette Jen Tran apparently has made it official with Sasha Farber. Outside of the ballroom. Jen and Sasha are dating, a source exclusively shares in the latest issue of Us Weekly. Their post kind of insinuated too, it was her birthday party. He was fitting the boyfriend role. It's not I love you, boyfriend, but it's
Yeah, I mean, we all saw it coming, but I love them, and I saw they were doing a video the other day where it's one of those TikTok videos where it's has a prompt over you and it tells you.
Oh yes.
And it was like she's gonna have a baby or get pregnant soon, and that's what he's wanted, and that's why it didn't allegedly not work out with Emma.
His first wife.
His
latest wife. I don't know if it's his first wife.
Because of the whole child situation. So I mean, I don't know.
We love to see
It's crazy
Sasha
to
happy.
see how like fate really like intervened for these people. Like it's pretty insane.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like if she wouldn't have. If she would have stayed, obviously if she would have stayed engaged, she never would have gone and danced.
Well, yeah, but the decision, I guess she had finished after the rose,
Yeah,
that's
and
where
they
the
just
whole,
told her.
and they told her, if you want to be on Dancing with the Stars, you need to stop crying. You have 45 minutes to get to the airport.
Yeah.
And she just made the decision, and they kind of told him, like, go to the airport. You might get this partner if she says yes.
That's crazy.
They met, and they filmed it. It's so cute, actually. They filmed it when they met. I guess they were both running, because they're like, hi, let's go. And they're running, and they're like, oh, we're on our way, whatever. And in a recent interview, he actually says that he keeps their boarding pass in his wallet.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's no hope for the rest of us.
okay, screams internally. But yeah, it is just so cute.
Yeah, it's good to see them happy. It's good to see happy people.
We love to see happy people.
We love to see it.
I'm going to go now into kind of like a minor Taylor Swift sub-stories before we get to the big one. We have Taylor Swift, who visited children at Children's Mercy Kansas City Hospital. Lots of videos and pictures coming out from that visit. There's actually one specific video where she gushes over Travis Kelce after one of the little patients brings him up, and she's like, good choice, like, I like him, or something like that. As you could, Taylor Swift, all the videos posted come from internal, so like all the moms, all the kids.
No, I saw on my For You page that day, I kept seeing videos, and I'm like, is that Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Like what the first video I saw was these kids doing a song from the Eras tour, and she like opens the curtain and comes out, and I just like love seeing her. I mean,
I think it's so cute. And then the one where she walks, or I don't know if she walks in, but she's in the room and it's a little boy, and she's like, well, I have this book. And he's just like, like he does not care who Taylor Swift is. And she's like, I don't know if you want to get, like, you could give it to like your sister or your mom. Like, I don't know if you know someone that would want it. And then the dad who's filming is like, Jessica, his mom, she's a big Swiftie. She's on her way out here. She's on her way. And then she's like, okay, Jessica, and she signs it. The other one that was super cute was there's actually a moment where she could tell she's walking down the hallway. I think she's going into an elevator, and someone from like a door is filming her.
Yeah.
Did you see it? Where I don't know who that person
maybe
is.
it was part of their like media team.
The media team was just like, don't post that video. And
she was like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Relax. I get the final say.
I think she worked for the hospital.
Oh yeah, I think she worked for the hospital. But this was in Kansas City, so I'm sure they're like, thanks, Travis.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing her to Kansas City.
And speaking of Travis, he kind of hinted something in his podcast that has people kind of talking. Well, after 12 seasons as a tight end of the Kansas City's Chief, the Ohio native hinted that he might be looking at retirement sooner than later when reflecting on his team's win over the Cleveland Browns on December 15th. Well, this is what he said. He said, it felt so unreal. Travis confessed about returning home on December 18th episode of the New Heights podcast. I don't know if it's the last time I'll play in Cleveland, but it kind of felt like I was just giving it one last hurrah before I'm done because I've only played there twice in 12 years. So it could also mean, I didn't know he only played twice in 12 years, so it's not like he visits every year. It depends on the schedule. So he just means, hey, even if I were to retire in 3 years, there's a big chance the schedule doesn't line up.
Yeah.
If it's going to line up in the next 12 years, I'm pretty sure he'd be retired by the next 12 years. So people are just saying, ooh, like, is he retiring to spend more time with his girlfriend?
I mean, he's also getting into acting.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. I didn't mean to laugh as I said that.
That is one thing I like to skip over. Like
the acting portion.
Yeah.
Of, Travis
it's like,
Kelce.
where's this coming from? Like,
it's just,
I don't like this.
I haven't even tried to see how he is as an actor.
I don't because
I'm
I
not
don't want to.
interested.
I don't want to.
I'm very much not
interested. But the fact that he's
interested.
probably had more acting roles than Joe Owen.
Oh, probably, and he probably will get more job offers than Joel would. One last thing I forgot. So we had mentioned this prior. Molly May, she's coming out with that documentary, and she did release a trailer. If you all are interested in Molly May, it is going to pretty much dive into the Tommy Fury, the post breakup, how she moves on with her life post breakup.
It's gonna be on Prime. Yeah. I saw it,
and I'm just like, what a baller move, dude. Like,
and it looks like serious. It looks like.
It looks like Succession or something.
It looks
relax.
High production.
Yeah.
It looks high production.
But I'm just curious, like, immediately after everything, was Amazon like, girl, don't even go to a publication.
No,
don't go on YouTube. Like,
I think a production company and her shot it, and then they bid it out to
How
Amazon.
smart. How smart. Like,
yeah.
She's not going to be on Us Weekly.
But
she's going to be on Amazon Prime.
Like, I knew who they were because of like We Love Pop Culture, but I couldn't tell you how old she was. I couldn't tell you anything. I'm like, this girl's gonna get so much more popular after. Like, it just looks so good.
She's gonna
people are gonna
become
fall in love with
an international sensation. Like like we said, she's popular in England, but her
reach
hasn't really been in the States as much. But
yeah,
boy, is it coming.
We're excited for that. So we could dive into the Taylor Swift party. So let me go over this little article.
That's going to be our topic.
Yes.
One of our topics.
One of our topics, guys. We're getting straight to it. So it's been a big year for Taylor Swift. So it only makes sense that she would celebrate her 35th birthday with an approximately large party. Swift turned 35 on Friday, just days after wrapping up the Era Tour, which has assumed the throne as the highest grossing tour of all time by artists of any genre and from any era in music history. Already, however, she's celebrated with a number of special events, but those events did not come to an end. Reports say that Swift's partner, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, has gifted her $150,000 worth of floral arrangements and jewelry for her birthday. Now, for her birthday week, the party continued. Apparently inspired by the conclusion of Swift's Eras Tour, you can see on Instagram post from Brittany Mahomes showed that the former soccer player decked out in an outfit that pays homage to Swift's Fearless album, while husband Kelce Chiefs teammate Patrick Mahomes is sporting the suit resembling I Could Do It with the Broken Hearts costume that Kelce wore on tour. Then elsewhere we see like Lindsay Bell, who is the wife of Chiefs Blake Bell. She was seen wearing at the party an era inspired by the Lovers era. While close friend Ashley Avignon sported a snake around her neck, possibly referencing the Reputation area. Other photos from the event also show friendship bracelets, heavily referred to back to the same bracelet, which have become as synonymous with the Swiftie thanks to the Eras Tour. So people are believing that this was an Eras-themed party.
Well, Ashley, her friend, posted today a series of photos more in depth, and it said when she thought she was going to a small, quaint dinner, but it was actually a giant surprise party with her friends, family, and props included.
And then
they even recreated the little cart. The
Haim sisters are there, or the Haims? I don't
the
never
Haim
know.
sisters.
The Haim sisters were there. Ashley was there.
It's
all
so
like
cute.
her wife, like the NFL wives were there. I'm pretty sure his family was there. Apparently Donna Kelce was like on the dance floor. And there was one picture where I'm pretty sure Travis is like giving a toast, and she's just like,
it's just so cute. I mean,
when did Joe ever do that? I am like so anti. I have never spoken about this man before, but it's just cute, and
it's just so nice to see. I mean, like to be spoiled by your loved one. I don't know. I just it was just really cute to see. Like not only like the conclusion of this long tour, which felt like she was just like, all right, bye guys. You know. I feel like it was honoring, obviously, all the work that she did.
Yeah, like how cute is that? Like that's such a huge accomplishment. And you know, it's kind of like interesting that it was an Eras Tour themed. Like some people might have been like, oh, she's probably so over this like lore around her. Like how could you even possibly make her a party of that? It's like, I don't know, the best way it's like, oh, if it's like giving Tom Holland a Spider-Man birthday party. It's just kind of like, is this a mocking? Are you mocking me? But no, they just embraced it.
Yeah, and they had like the cloaks from like
Willow
and like just having a good time. I feel like it's just kind of like being like, it's over. Now we get to just have fun with it.
I
and
hope
like
people from the tour were invited, but like the dancers
maybe.
and stuff like that.
I don't know. Was it in Kansas City?
It was in Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Maybe some of them couldn't make it out,
Yeah.
but sweet to see.
There was a girl on TikTok, I don't know how true this is. They said that she was at a restaurant that they frequent a lot. She was just there.
They closed out the top, right?
The top, and that they had ordered Whataburger, which, if you know, there's a Whataburger in Kansas City because Patrick Mahomes, who's from East Texas, is one of the only people that has the license to own a Whataburger outside of Texas, and he has one in Kansas City.
What?
Yeah.
Anytime celebrities that are not from Texas have Whataburger, I'm like, yes, I just love to see it. So I would love to see a picture of Taylor chowing down on a
Patty
a number 5.
Patty Melt.
Which is my favorite.
What's
The number 5, just like a bacon and cheese by itself, plain and dry.
Nice. Wow.
No condiments.
No condiments.
No vegetables.
Give me the cheese
Just cheese and bacon and meat. And
But
bread.
yeah, that's Taylor Swift's little weekend. And typically, like any great pop star and mastermind, she kind of like disappears for the holidays.
Yeah.
And I think this is...
She deserves a break.
Does she? No, I was kidding.
She deserves some
I do want
time
more.
off.
But yeah, this is, okay, this story...
This is a lot,
This
guys.
is a lot. Like, literally like half a page I probably have to read because it took me a while. We kind of brought it up last time.
Yeah.
Gracie O'Malley and Brianna Chickenfry. It's a friendship. They riffed. It was Plan Bree. It was Bree's podcast with the co-host of her best friend from her childhood, from her hometown.
15 years,
Yeah,
right?
it was announced that at the end of this year, or pretty much, Plan Bree, the podcast they both co-host, was ending. They all agreed. Like, everyone was on the same page. According to sources out of nowhere, then Bree posts blindsiding Gracie, saying like, oh, actually, I am coming back with the podcast, a revamp.
Reworking, yeah.
Rework, revamping, meaning that you just kind of shut down your podcast to tell your friend not to be in it, and then you know. And a lot of allegations and stuff, like, I guess, like, hate towards Brianna have come to surface, where it's like, you have to think about it. Brianna has always like had that kind of like hate towards sent towards her, but when the whole Zach Bryan thing, people really did rally behind her, and then when this kind of happened, people were like, oh, this is why we kind of never got on.
Kind of why we didn't like you to begin with.
So everyone was kind of like, oh my God, like Grace, like da 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 da. So let me read through this. It kind of breaks down like the whole thing. So Grace O'Malley, oh my God, I can't say it, is saying goodbye to a chapter of her life shortly after revealing that she and her childhood friend, Brianna Chickenfry, were ending their joint podcast, Plan Bree, due to a rift in their relationship. The 25-year-old announced that she will be parting ways with Barstool, which produced their show. So she actually completely like left the company that produced her. I'm pretty sure like if it wasn't an ugly like rift, I'm pretty sure they'd be like, just give her her own show.
Dave, because I've been seeing a lot of clips from Dave, because Dave has been actively defending Brianna. He said that he had messaged her and like they were going back and forth. He was like, we could still work on something, I believe, whatever.
Yeah.
And that she was still on board with staying with Barstool.
So months before the December announcement of their joint podcast, Plan Bree Uncut was ending, speculations about the state of their 15-year friendship were taking shape online. Well, the rift in the pair's dynamic became clear in October after Brianna exposed her breakup with Zach Bryan. Brianna shared her perspective on their friendship end, which she believes began during the one-year relationship with her ex-boyfriend, which she allegedly says that the singer was emotionally abusive toward her. Okay, this is her quote. "When you're in an abusive relationship, it F's up your friendship," she said during a podcast episode of BFF Podcast. She saw a lot of it, and she knew I was going through it, and it was obviously really, really hard. She hated him from the jump. I would go to her and be like, I feel like because you hate Zach so much, you're forgetting to separate that. I'm your best friend. You can hate him, but you can still be there for me. She never was. She knew everything that I was going through. According to Brianna, Grace struggled to maintain a close bond with her during the off and on again relationship with Zach Bryan. She explained that the decision to end Plan Bree in October was due to the state of their friendship. Well, first of all, I don't think we talked about that, but that's kind of messed up. That she's like, oh, she was never there for me. I know it gets to a point where you're just like, you sound like a nagging friend being like, you need to leave him, you need to leave him. Anyway, that all went down, and everyone's kind of like oh no, what's gonna happen to Grace? Yada yada yada. Well, Miss Alex Cooper teased at first.
Before that, there was a BFF podcast episode where they kind of go in on Grace. But mind you, like, this is like Dave Portnoy's in charge of Barstool, and everyone's just like, how are you like all three talking about an employee of yours in not the best light possible? Like, who does that? Like, if I was Grace, I would leave Barstool. So Grace posted this earlier in the week. She made a post basically with the Barstool sign saying, you know, I'm
thankful.
I'm thankful, whatever. I'm out, like, time to move on with something new. And then we go into this.
So at first, Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy, she used to work for Barstool, now has her own
Unwell
Network. She teased a video. It was a video of like
her phone call.
Her phone calling Grace, and she's like, you guys can stop tagging me. Like, I need to make a call, or I know what call I need to make. So everyone just thought she was going to sit her down for an interview. That's what I thought. That it was like, oh, she's her next guest.
I didn't think so.
They announced that
she's
Grace,
joining the Unwell Network.
So they have posted Cooper's media powerhouse shared on Instagram to celebrate O'Malley's big news. At Grace O'Malley is uneffing well. Welcome home, read the caption, accompanied by a video and photo of the comedian, including one of the of her shouting, "I'm unwell," before toasting with a cheering group.
So it looked like it was an incoming call. So Grace called her. It was 38 minutes. But you know what they say. The devil works hard, but Alex Cooper works harder. Faster.
No, but you know, you brought up the whole thing where they're speaking about this employee, and yes, Dave is like the owner. It's basically, imagine you're in a company and your boss is on camera
doing a podcast about you with your old friend, basically talking shit.
There has to be like some HR violation.
Everyone's been like, is there an HR department at Barstool?
Whitney Cummings has been very like a insider, I guess, mentor for Grace, and she kind of posted, she's like, does Barstool not have HR? Because like, I'll do the work for free because it's like out of control. But I do wonder if Alex did call Dave and be like, hey, just a heads up, courtesy call. I don't think she would have been no.
Possibly, but I think it was just probably so fast. It was like, let's just sign her, like right now. Like, strike while the iron is hot, honestly.
I mean, great lawyers, Alex Cooper.
Grace did a good job. If Grace was the one that called her and was like, look, I'm hot right now. Like, people are talking about me. Like, I can provide something to you. Like, right now is probably the best time to like do this.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, sold. Like,
absolutely,
I got you.
I loved it for her.
And during yesterday's BFF podcast or something, they were talking about Grace basically saying, you know, she's doing her comedy thing now. Like, I'm sure she'll be happy just focusing on that because that's what she's always wanted to do. Like, she's probably not going to do a podcast. Something, I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines. I was like, little did you know, she was on the phone with Alex this whole time.
And you know, Alex Cooper does come from that same storyline. If it was two girls co-hosting a podcast, and then like us, no, just kidding. Like, and then one of them, like, issues happen, and then they split. Which podcast becomes more popular? Now we're gonna see Bree and Grace. I do wonder what Grace is gonna do. I know. Did they announce the podcast name, or they're just like,
it's just like she just joined. I would assume it'd probably be like comedy wise, not like let's talk about comedy, but I think it'll probably be about her life as she's going through this comedy journey.
Yeah.
As her finally being a comedian, like what that's like behind the curtain. I would be interested in that.
Yeah, and like she's opening up for Whitney Cummings. Like, Whitney has really been like, when she met her, I guess the two of them went on Whitney Cummings' podcast, and vice versa. Whitney went on hers, and she was just like, hey, if you're serious about like being a comedian, like, let's work on stuff. Like, you could open for me. Like, let's go. Like,
she's funny. The clips that she was doing after the whole briefing were happened was hilarious. So yeah, I followed her on Instagram.
Yes, I hope. Okay, I'll follow her too, guys. But yeah, we're excited to see what happens. Alex Cooper, girl, you're so smart.
I know. What a smart businesswoman.
And now, I was going to say, now when Bree revamps her podcast, we'll have the data show, like, who gets more followers.
Do you follow that one data? It's like Bachelor data, but they also do, like, reality show data where they, like, check social media, like, how its growth has been based on certain people and episodes. It's interesting. It's interesting to look at.
I'll have to check that out. But yes, as we wrap up, we're going to now talk about the big New Year Eve wrap-ups that are happening. We have first up, ABC and Dick Clark Productions are announcing an additional performer for their Dick Clark's New Year's Eve with Ryan Seacrest. Well, the performances from the West Coast will include Alanis Morissette with special guest Renee Rapp, Dasha. We also have Carrie Underwood there. We have the Jonas Brothers. You know, that's kind of like the most popular, or like
The Jonas Brothers?
no, sorry, the Dick Clark's.
I was like, of all those people, I
Dick
don't
Clark's
think so.
New Year's Eve with Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
I loved that NBC, and tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like Kelly Clarkson hosted something like a couple years ago, but they don't have anything for New Year's Eve.
I thought they just show the Dick Clark special everywhere.
Oh no, this is ABC.
I did not know that, honestly.
So NBC has like a New Year's special, like
Yeah.
a lineup, like programming lineup. Like they have like their big comedy shows have new episodes, and then they have like a Hoda and Jenna like year wrap countdown special.
Like a year in review. Like,
Yeah, and then they have the Seth Meyers like drinking thing. They did like a special on that, how he drinks with celebrities, and then that's it. And the other one that, of course, is, you know, it's only popular because
I love Andy Cohen.
Yeah, the only reason I'm bringing
and
this up,
Anderson Cooper.
yeah, it's because, you know, you think of CNN and Fox News and they're back and forth. The only reason I'm picking this up is because the Andy Cohen and his Tequila are returning to co-host the New Year's Eve Live with Anderson Cooper. Speaking to Variety in an interview, Cohen did confirm that he's returning to the CNN New Year's Eve Live. And the reason why we're specifically bringing up this one is because they always make headlines because Andy Cohen has a drinking issue, I guess. He
It's so
drinks throughout the whole
relatable.
night, and you just see him slowly but surely get a little sloppier through the night.
It's like a competition, like seeing Andy Cohen. Like, you want to be at that level.
So apparently, I could be incorrect by the timeline, but you know, he started joining Andy Cohen or Anderson Cooper. You know, invited Andy Cohen to kind of like join him, and it kind of grew his presence in this, in these, I guess, what is it, a special programming, and he would get drunk. It wasn't until I think 1 year he said something about Ryan Seacrest. I don't remember it exactly, but it was something about Ryan Seacrest. Andy Cohen said something about Ryan Seacrest. The next year, they're like, we were no longer
allowing drinking.
Not allowed drinking. I think it happened 2 years, and now they're like kind of like, it's kind of boring.
But it's because like it's fun to watch somebody
Yeah.
get progressively drunk throughout the night
I feel like
and tell stories.
I truly do feel like they need to take it off of CNN and just NBC pick it up.
Oh yeah,
Like, have
or
Andy-
make it like a Netflix special. You know how Netflix
Yeah.
or Hulu or something
like Bravo
streaming.
and NBC, like grab Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper and let them.
I just
do
love their
that.
friendship. They're so funny. I think Andy Cohen's hilarious. See, the Dick Clark one I only watched for the performances. Like, I remember this year, earlier in January, they had like Sabrina Carpenter, and Sabrina Carpenter had like the biggest year. So
Yeah.
So we'll see what the future holds for Dasha after she performs.
I mean,
I'm just
after
kidding.
the Thanksgiving,
I'm just
did you see
kidding.
her performance on Thanksgiving Parade?
No, I didn't.
So she, poor thing, like it could have happened to anyone. So obviously, Thanksgiving Parade, it was rainy, right? So she had extensions in. So her extensions were straight, and her whole head got curly, so it looked like a mullet. And then when she was singing, I don't know what happened. Her mic, even though they're lip singing, which everyone lip sings, she was wearing red lipstick, but she would put her mic so close to her mouth and then shift it that she ended up with red lipstick all over her face during her performance. I know.
Pobrecita.
Pobrecita. Yeah, but you know, I hope lessons learned. But you know what? Good for her.
I'm super excited to see Alanis Morissette and Renee Rapp, what they do together.
Yeah,
like that's gonna be a sight to see. And also, you said Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz as well.
Love Lenny Kravitz.
I
Jonas
do
Brothers,
too.
they're there.
They're there. We like the questionable.
Question.
But yeah, so that's what do you do for New Year's? So you just
New Year's, it just really depends. I usually go with my family, pop fireworks. It's nice to see my nephews play with fireworks. It's like,
okay.
you know, when
we get to do it. I
see it
used
for
to, in
the
my
first time.
20s, I was very like, if I'm not partying at the club, for New Year's, if I'm not at some kind of party, I'm not in like, I was go to San Francisco, LA, like to a hotel party, something. I was just like, what a waste of like celebration, right? Now I'm just like, get me my PJs. I'll go to house parties, but it has to be like low key. Like let's just put the Dick Clark's New Year's Eve.
Get the grapes ready to go.
Get the grapes ready. Possibly go to bed by 12:15. Like, sign me up.
Honestly, for 2 years I had COVID for New Year's, so I was always self-isolating, and I was already at home. But see, from my backyard at my place, it's like a panoramic view, and so when the fireworks, I love being at my place when the fireworks go off, because you just see like a panoramic view of like the whole city like popping fireworks. It's like really magical. So
you should get on your roof.
I don't know if I can, and I don't know if I would want to. There was a raccoon problem.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, absolutely not. But before we get to wrapping, let's go over.
Let's wrap up the year, guys.
Let's wrap up the year. Brenda and I have put together our individual list of top 5 celebrity stories that we just think were the most impactful for us for the year.
Personally speaking.
I will say that it was really hard to find and remember what happened in the beginning of the year. So if we miss one or whatever, like, I apologize, but we're not really good at this.
Do we go one by one, or do we say like?
Did you rank yours?
No, I just kind of wrote stuff down.
I just wrote stuff down. Okay. So
you want to? You can go first with your. We can just go back and forth. And
okay.
Talk
My
about
number one, and then you can agree if you have that one. Okay. My number one is just Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Like, Eras Tour coming to an end, a big milestone. I went to it last year, so I didn't get to see it, but it's just the impact of, you know, the Tortured Poets Department being included in the movie, and then the Europe tour, and then the Travis Kelce part, and then it just coming to an end perfectly as we wrap up the year. I think it was just, as we said, highest grossing concert for any musician, any genre, any time and place in history. And I think it really was the Eras Tour year.
No, I mean, I agree. I think that she had 2 years of impactful thing. For me, like, the Eras Tour was like the bang of 2023. Like, that's where you saw like all of these things. So this year, it was nice to see the incorporation of the Tortured Poets Department and, you know, even the whole Vienna thing. Like, there's just so many, there's so many milestones within the Eras Tour. It's like crazy how it's spanned 2 years of, you know,
of life. Of life.
All right, so my top one, and this is realistically my top one. It was a pop girl year, and I cannot stress like just how incredible all of the pop music was. You know, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Tortured Poets, Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, Gracie Abrams. Like, there was just so many incredible pop albums released this year. It made summer and life so much better listening to all those lyrics. It's just so nice to see women kind of up there in the ranks, and they all just did such beautiful work this year. So I think it was really the year of the pop girls for me.
I do have that. I just put Sabrina Carpenter. Like, for me, like, she was the one who stood out. Like, she was last year opening act for Taylor Swift, kind of leading into the first half of the year, and then went on her own tour, selling out these like arenas,
getting nominations,
like, her Grammy nomination,
successful album.
Yeah, it's such a great album that it was ranked very high up in like top albums of the year, not just because she's pop, but just against everyone else. You mentioned it was the year of the pop girlies. I actually did see one article where they said like the biggest shocking or controversial things of the year, and one of them was it was the year of pop music except for Katy Perry.
Oh my God.
It was just like,
I mean, honestly, I didn't even remember she had an album this year. I didn't even know it was released.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, for me, it's similar, as Sabrina Carpenter for me was just.
Is that your second one?
Yeah, that is my second one.
Okay, for me, the second one, I'm going to put this Paris Olympics. Not only like pop culture-wise, but like cultural-wise. Like, who wasn't watching the Paris Olympics this summer? I would stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning just to see people swim in the Seine. I was obsessed. So many people, like Steven, Alana, came out of this experience. I have never felt more American in my life. until I was watching those Olympics. It was the summer. It just was so magical. I will always remember the Paris Olympics. I never pay attention to the Olympics as much, but I was in. I had the schedule. I had the Olympic schedule on my phone,
Olympic
so I could
app.
know what was going on all the time. So yeah, definitely Paris Olympics.
I never took you. Where was I during the Olympics? I didn't know you had that.
We were kind of off during that time
Yeah.
for
Oh,
the
yeah,
podcast,
summer. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was obsessed.
Wow.
Obsessed. I know so many sports now.
So many sports.
So many sports that I never knew existed. So
We love that. Well, we'll see you back. What about, okay, how do you feel about the Winter Olympics?
I don't really pay attention. I don't know. I mean, all they do is like, all I think of when I think of Winter Olympics is skiing and snowboarding. Like, what else do I? But maybe this year it'll entice me. It's just like there was so much hype around the Paris Olympics,
Yeah.
like the promotions and everything. And NBC really did a good job at like, you know, they had that Alex Cooper like watch
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Like they did so much to try to get young engagement, and boy, did they get it.
They got Brenda.
They got me, 30-year-old woman.
The young engagement. Okay, I did not have the Olympics. I'll go with the softball one here. You're gonna laugh. Selena and Benny's engagement was
Okay.
just big for me. I don't know why it is. I think it's because I called it. I did say like they're
She's gonna
getting
get
engaged
this year.
But it's also like, and if I think about it,
It's a cultural moment.
She's kind of like, I want to say one of the first. Her and Miley Cyrus are kind of the first people that I can kind of like, in my head, just like, where I literally watched them grow up. You know, like they were young when they started, and
But it's
just
crazy
so,
how Miley's engagement to Liam and marriage is like so not even like, but with Selena, it's different because Selena was one of the
always
most
was.
popular women in America at one
in the
point.
world. She was like the most followed person on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just to see her finally like be at this next step in life.
And she's just been likable the whole time. Like can't tell when people are moments like Selena, but like a big like when Miley was like twerking and all that stuff, like the world turned on her. I can't really pinpoint Selena having a moment where the whole world
right now during her whole award season, but no,
I
even
think that
then
is
she has
fair.
so many defenders. Like
Yeah.
she and people pointed out like her engagement announcement. Almost everybody, so many people that you never knew she knew,
Taylor Swift,
like
Jennifer. Oh, I knew her and Jennifer Aniston knew each other.
but just a likable person to almost to the whole entertainment industry.
Yeah,
So yeah, I can see that as a top moment. The next one for me was kind of just like I had to look up a lot of stuff because I forgot what happened. I'm gonna put Kate Middleton when everyone thought that she was missing or something was going on, and then she ended up announcing her cancer diagnosis. It's just one of those moments in history.
Very impactful.
Because it's and honestly it was like a chain of events because also the king announced that he was diagnosed, so like the royal family was impacted this year by
Absolutely. Like we saw her go. Yeah, it's true. And Easter was like, where's she gonna be at?
Yeah, there's all those photos because they're like, oh, they photoshopped this all badly,
yeah.
and everyone's like, is that Kate? Where's Kate? Why is Kate hiding? Did they
She's
send her
demanding a
away?
divorce, yeah.
Whatever. And then it just happened that she was going through some medical issues. So
And then they just came out with their Christmas card. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
it.
it
It's
was
super
cute.
cute.
So that's another big
That's a good one. That is a really good one. For me, it's gonna be it ends with us drama and just always being Team Justin Baldoni to this day.
that was
Like,
just such a moment in time.
it was people were consumed by it, and I would look up and it was very much in some articles of being like the controversy. A lot of them were like the controversies of 2024, and a lot of them were the same one that did the Katy Perry title was like when Blake Lively missed that one. Blake Lively missed her media training class.
Honestly, guys, this made Blake Lively not talk anymore.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impactful thing to do.
And she talks a lot.
And she talks a lot.
I will say her shampoo line smells really good.
Does it? I've heard mixed reviews on it.
I'm a little mixed. It smells very elegant and very expensive, but I don't see anything, I don't see a lot in my hair. But
you use it?
I use,
Oh,
okay, not
okay.
the shampoo. I just have the kind of a detangler leave-in conditioner. I have heard good things about the conditioner. Like if you do use, like her process is that No, I'm sorry. She doesn't have a conditioner. That's his thing. She only has a conditioning hair mask. So for her, she doesn't use your conditioner. It's like you do a mask every day. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like it's a thicker conditioner, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it ends with us drama with Justin Baldoni. It's just so much to recap. If during the press tour for It Ends With Us, there was an obvious rift between the two co-stars, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Blake Lively was, promoting this, promoting this movie in a way that was very like glam and Hollywood, and like I'm wearing flowers because my character's a florist.
And it's fun.
Taking pictures
Take
with
your girlfriends, guys.
And then Justin Baldoni did a lot of his press solo, and he was very, vocal about the domestic violence that is a big theme in this movie. And there were just rumors about how they just did not get along. There was a lot of bad things that you could tell they were hit headlines where they were trying to say that, Blake Lively didn't like Justin because he commented about her body.
It was just so back and forth. The headlines at one point, you're like, okay, each team is going after each other over something. Yeah, it's like one source says that Blake Lively didn't feel comfortable with Justin Baldoni because he asked how much she weighed. And it'd be like, well, another source says that Justin Baldoni only asked that because he wanted to make sure he was lifting her, so he just wanted to make sure that he could lift her. And it was just like some back and forth. And I was just like, I don't know. We haven't seen this amount of drama since Don't Worry, Darling.
I know, yeah. So that was my story, or one of my tops.
Well, that was, I mean, I can literally, okay, I'm going to go with continuing on the beef train. This year we realized that Drake and Kendrick Lamar don't like each other, very much so that they went back and forth with recording songs about how much they don't like each other, pointing out disses and all these things, just kind of having this big rap beef, which, lasted for a good while. Right now, Kendrick has his album out. I'm not sure what Drake, is up to, but yeah, that was a moment in time. Everyone kind of picking their sides in that debate.
I can't even tell you, but I'm pretty sure I'm more Kendrick Lamar.
I'm kind of a little bit more Kendrick. I used to be a really big Drake fan.
And then what happened?
And then, I don't know, there's just so many accusations about Drake. It's kind of hard to, be loyal sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm a loyal person. I'm a Taurus, guys.
And then this one, the big one for me, Wicked.
Wicked, yeah.
It's the year of Wicked. We had, I don't know, I remember us announcing it, who got cast and whatever, it started shooting, and to finally see it on the big screen, guys, it's totally worth it. It's such a great movie. I just think that it was so good, guys, that we were talking about Ariana in the beginning of the year, where we can't stand her and we can't stand her, but it was just she was giving us the ick with the whole Ethan Slater thing. And then this movie just has,
we're praising her now.
We're praising her, where it's just she put her heart, you could just tell she put her heart and soul in this movie.
Absolutely.
As well as Cynthia, but I think Ariana, she just had a really tough year with privately.
She's had quite the evolution in the beginning of the year. Not a lot of people liked her. Now everyone's you're a Academy darling right now.
Academy darling.
Well, I agree with a lot of your things. I'm just going to throw this one in here because I just kind of, we need a fifth one. We continue to see, another year of people really diving into the promotions of their movie and getting dressed up for that exact occasion. The Twisters promo, Daisy Edgar Jones with specific outfits. Zendaya, her Dune 2 outfits and challengers. We have Wicked, them honing in on coloring. We just continue to see, and I think it's just going to be a trend for movie premieres that are big movies, going with the aesthetic of what you're doing and then just dressing to that.
That's your era. I'm in my Glenda, well, no, I'm not, but Ariana, I'm in my Glenda era, you will only see me in pink.
Yeah, we continue to see this trend this year where it's when big movies are coming out, expect one actor to stick to that.
Who do you think?
Zendaya.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say
started that. Zendaya and her La Roche started that whole train, and they started it last year. We did mention the whole Dune.
No, I think this even because even when
Barbie.
Oh no, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
all her Spider-Man outfits. Remember when she did the web thing?
That just became a thing that this year every big blockbuster movie. Look it up. one actress is sticking to the theme of every single thing.
Yeah, it's like
but
the
I have
whole
to say,
marketing.
Daisy Edgar Jones, I loved her outfits this year. So.
Are you gonna copy that? I don't know if that was a
Just
tease.
kidding.
Was that a tease?
But yeah, those are our year in review. I'm not sure if you all agree, but whatever. I don't know.
I'm gonna throw this at you. Is there a New Year resolution that you want to publicly put out here?
All right, for this year, for 2025, we're gonna put out into the universe that I am going to see the world. I can show you the world. I'm gonna see what else is out there in life.
I like that for you.
I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, guys. Nothing but positivity.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
What
welcome.
about you, Selena?
I mean, I can't really follow up with that. I was just going to say read more. I think in 2023 we were really good at reading.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had our
We need
book
to get
club.
better at that.
And then 2024, I think I tried reading 2 books, and I was like, after like the chapter 1, I'd be like,
I heard 1 book this year.
So I think I felt very accomplished at the end of 2023 when we were able to finish our book club, monthly read. And I don't know what I need to do. It's kind of like maybe if I'm in a book club, it like just forces me to do it. But I do want to get back on the reading bandwagon. And I also want to I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I just really want to prioritize the future in 2025, where it's like, let me educate myself about finances. You know, let me use
finances.
2025 as a way to set my 65-year-old self, if you live that far, for
Love
success.
that.
What do I want to do? Do I want to invest? Do I know how the stock market works?
I can recommend some books.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
My dad always gives me financial books.
Yes, what am I doing this year that's gonna help me in 10 years? I think that's kind of the mindset. And it could be finances, it could be health, it could be do I need to buy less fast fashion and do more staple pieces? That's what I want to focus on. I feel like it's a little bit broad, but that's where my head is going right now.
Okay. And what is your message for 2024?
I can't say that. I'm just kidding. I was gonna say, what is for this the end? Oh,
what are you saying to 2024?
It was a good pregame.
Okay.
I felt like I had a decent, nothing bad or up. I'm trying to remember, maybe something did happen. I'm trauma blocking, but I just think that maybe this is a little deep, but for a long while I'm content, and I'm like, oh, this was a livable year. Let's build on this. So I kind of call it was a pregame, an appetizer to a good meal entree next year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. How about you?
Shove it, 2024. You suck, honestly. Yeah, I've had one of the craziest years of my life, but you know what I have to say?
I was not expecting that.
I have to say I've had the craziest year of my life, but honestly, I feel like it was just divine intervention, and I am set forth on a positive path.
And the good thing, I know 2025. I know 5 is an important number in your life.
Absolutely.
And 25 is is my lucky number. So I think it's going to be a good year for us.
Like I say, the odd years are my years.
Yes.
Every year is my year, except 2024. But that's all for us, guys, in this year of 2024. We hope you've had a great year with us, and we hope
we'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year. I love saying that.
Really, I feel so cringe.
I love saying.
We'll see you guys next year. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram and tell us what your New Year's resolution is, or recommend me a book.
Yes, we might start up the book club next year. I need to read more.
We do.
We do. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.